What they do. I am Josh Jones, ESQ. Welcome to Beats, Rhymes, and Crimes Live, the number one place to get legal information about law and hip hop culture. Like I said, I'm Josh Jones, ESQ, and I'm coming live from the 305. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to thank you, whether you're watching live or watching on the replay. I want to thank you for tuning in with us today, tapping in with the show. Got a big show planned for y'all, and I can't wait to jump in. But before we get too deep, let me know if you've been watching the Olympics. If so, tell me what's your favorite event that you've seen so far. Who has captured your heart for this Olympic game so far? All right. You know, Olympics right now are taking place in Paris. They're actually wrapping up. Seen some crazy stuff. Noah Lyles ran the 200-meter finals with COVID. He still came in third place. So that's crazy. Doing his thing out there. He also won the 100-meter gold. Let me know if you saw that. Do you think he won or do you think he lost? Because it looks like the guy from Jamaica's foot went across first, but everybody all of a sudden knows official track rules and like, no, it's got to be the chest. Whoever's chest goes across. So Noah Lyles apparently beat him out by a very, very short margin, closest in history. But just let me know what you think about that. Who you got going into the basketball finals, some of the bigger events, gymnastics. Let me know. Just let us know what your thoughts are on those Olympics in Paris. And Kanye and Jay-Z made a song about, I don't want to say it, man, but niggas in Paris, man. So we're going to jump straight out to there. If you didn't hear this, it was reported this morning that Travis Scott was arrested in Paris for attacking a security guard who worked at a hotel. This security guard was trying to break up a situation, de-escalate a situation between Travis and his own personal bodyguard because Travis felt like the bodyguard wasn't doing his job. He was allowing paparazzi to get too close. Travis ended up going to the hospital. He did get arrested, but he was hospitalized so they could check on injuries he received due to broken glass. So it sounds like it was a pretty big tussle that they had out there in Paris, man. So can't take some people anywhere. We know Travis had another minor arrest that took place in Miami earlier this year, and he thought that was fun and games. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck out there in Paris, man. I remember a few years back, ASAP Rocky got caught up in I want to say like somewhere like Amsterdam or something like that, and they had to go and get that boy. He was stuck. So hopefully that doesn't happen with Travis Scott. He's able to get back home safely and hopefully makes better decisions moving forward. Another story that we talked about in the past involving rapper PNB Rock. He was killed at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles out in LA a couple of years ago. So I remember when that first happened back in 2022, a lot of people were saying that his girlfriend was responsible. She was the one posting online where they were at, allowing for these people to see it online and to show up and to, rob him for his jewelry out in Roscoe's and turn it into a shooting. The shooting itself is not online, but if you want to see the after footage, it is available. I saw it on TMZ, so it shows it's blurred out a little bit, but it is still a little graphic showing kind of the after scene of the shooting. But two people were found guilty this week. So Freddie Trone and Tremont Jones were found guilty of robbery conspiracy for orchestrating this murder. It was actually Trone's 17-year-old son who was the shooter, and the dad was the getaway driver. So the dad's defense was he didn't believe his son was going to be doing this. He had no knowledge about what was going on, and he just happened to be with him. But the jury did not buy that. Tremont Jones also claimed that he wasn't a part of it, and I'm sure they're going to be sentenced for a long time. And so far, they have not been sentenced. But there's a rapper I don't know from Inglewood named Bosco 100, and Bosco says that PNB Rock is responsible for his own murder because he failed to recognize that Roscoe's was in a danger zone. So he's saying for all the rappers that come to LA from out of town, you got to know where you are and you have to make the decisions to stay out of those dangerous areas. So I'm curious to know if you agree with Bosco. um, or not. Drop it in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking about that as well. Let me see something. Okay. So yeah, so let me know. Let me know if you think that PNB Rock's girlfriend had, any culpability in, them being targeted, as well. I'm curious to know what you think about that. Here's something I just learned about. I never even knew that this was going on, but a judge threw out a lawsuit against 50 Cent. So 50 Cent was sued for $1 billion by a gentleman named Corey Ghost Holland Sr. He essentially was saying that Power is based on his life and that they've made all his money off of his life. But the judge didn't agree, and she ruled in favor of 50. Ghost Holland says that he sent show creator Courtney Kemp sent her father videos, CDs, asking for help with his criminal case. So I'm not sure if her father is an attorney. Curious. I'm gonna Google that right now. Courtney Kemp dad. See if anything pops up. So that must not be the same one. No, it is. So I don't know. I don't know. It says that for some reason he asked her father for help with legal advice. I don't see how he could have helped her with his criminal situation. I'm not sure if he was an attorney, but he sued 50 in the past, accused him of harassment, saying that he sent people to intimidate him and things of that nature. So all of these suits have been thrown out, and you already know how 50 is going to do. So here's what 50 had to say about the lawsuit. All right, so we got 50 right here. He posted on Instagram, and he was saying, "Fool thought he was Ghost. What's wrong with these ninjas, man?" So yeah, so he's gonna always have fun with it. My dog Big D on here. He said 100% ultimate troll. 50 the only rapper we got that's authentic, masculine, and not pushing. Okay, who is your lawyers? That's a good question. Who represented 50 in that case? I'd be curious to know. Why does anyone try to test this man? So people are out here saying that like 50 is undefeated in the streets. Just seeing that. It's a little hard to see. So let's see if we do this. There you go. So yeah, fool thought he was Ghost. What's wrong with these ninjas? So 50 was having a little fun with it. I don't know who this is for, but may God exceed your expectations. Amen. Everybody owe this ninja money. 50 undefeated for almost 25 years. So yeah, so tell me what you think. You think that there might be any truth to the situation here with this being based on Ghost Holland's life, or y'all calling cap? Let me know what you thinking in the chat, in the comments. Let me know. And we're gonna move on. So 50, he might be the real Ghost, man. He keep coming out of these situations unscathed. Can't say the same for my brother Nelly, who was arrested. I don't think his baby got here yet, but he was arrested recently while gambling in a casino. So apparently he won like 50 racks or something like that in a casino. And apparently they were like, well, because you won so much, we have to run a background check. And he's like, well, I've won more than this in the past and I didn't have to do a background check. But either way, he ended up complying. He did the background check and they found out he had a warrant from last year for failing to appear in court for not having proof of insurance. So not having insurance is not a big deal. I don't know why Nelly didn't go to court. You hire a lawyer for $49, $100, $300, whatever it costs. And all they got to do, and you can just probably show up yourself. In Florida, you could just show up yourself with proof of insurance, and they're going to throw that out. You're not going to have any, points on your license. You're not going to have any, any type of situation that's going to arise because of the citation. But for whatever reason, Nelly did not do that. After they found out he had a warrant, they did a search. As a result of the search, they found out about ecstasy that they alleged was on his person. So his attorney, I'm gonna show you the letter that his attorney wrote. So this letter is from 2 days ago, and try to make it a little bigger. So Mr. Haynes was not charged with drug possession. He was arrested for no proof of insurance from 2018 and on a warrant issued December 2023 that he received no notice. Mr. Haynes, who is Nelly, was targeted by an overzealous, out-of-line officer after winning several jackpots at a venue where Mr. Haynes frequently visits and entertains at his amphitheater. Instead of just supervising the transfer of the winnings, the officer felt compelled to run a needless check for warrants. The officer informed Mr. Haynes a background check was mandated when a player went over a certain amount. Mr. Haynes knew this to be untrue as he had won several jackpots similar. Once Mr. Haynes was informed of the warrant for no proof of insurance, the officer felt compelled to handcuff Mr. Haynes behind his back and parade him through the casino in front of other patrons. The officer conducted a search without probable cause, where he claimed to have found alleged ecstasy in Mr. Haynes' personal property. Under similar circumstances, assuming there is an old warrant without any notice to the individual for no proof of insurance, any other citizen would have been told to address it and allowed to go on their way. It is also important to note that Mr. Haynes, as a part of the requirements to travel internationally, is regularly asked to supply proof of no warrants, including FBI checks. There was none. I'm 100% confident this will go nowhere, and we will be asking for inquiry into this officer's conduct. So you got that, but then you got this. All right, so try to make it bigger, but Cornell Haynes, 49, St. Louis, was charged with possession of a controlled substance, 4 ecstasy pills, and second charge for no insurance. So the letter from the attorney is only half accurate. It doesn't tell the whole story, but I do agree with him. These seem to both be very minor charges. This is not going to go anywhere. But Nelly, you got to be more careful, man. You got yourself in a dilemma right before your baby about to get here that you don't need to be in, brother. Almost 50, man. We gotta tighten up. We gotta tighten up, my dog. And if that's not unbelievable, I'm curious to know what you think about this. So this dude got fired. I want you to tell me if you think he may have a case for discrimination. Before we get to that, shout out to Dr. Travis Dion Brock and him and his team, 360 adjusters, doing their thing all over the world right now, man. There's so many storms, there's so many ways that people are being disenfranchised with their property, and they're helping people to, put their lives back together. So shout out to them. And if you want to find out how to become a part of his team, we were talking this morning. He's like, look, man, I'm showing people how to make 6 figures, but not in a year, in a month. So if you want to, have an opportunity to do that, learn how to make 6 figures in a month, possibly turn your annual income into your monthly income, talk with Dr. Brock, get in touch with me. I'll put you in contact with him because he is changing lives every day. So what up, bro? Love you. So now tell me what you think about this story. So people online are saying this can't be real. I don't know yet. I want to know what you think.
In Georgia has been fired after a video of him driving on a sidewalk was posted to TikTok. The video shows that driver steering his delivery van down a sidewalk in an Atlanta suburb. The user who recorded the video believes the driver was going 35 miles an hour.
He said I was doing 35 miles an hour. How does he know that is his eye speedometer? How does he know? That's how people will be driving and they won't mind their business. Of course, I was on the curb because we do curbside delivery. Yes, it says ETA now on the van. So we do curbside delivery. The closer I can be to the to the side, the closer I can be to the house, I can just pivot, do like that, and I'm at the doorstep. How do people think all their packages arrive? So I don't know.
In a statement, Amazon called the off-road act, quote, reckless and unacceptable behavior.
Well, I don't care. Who wants to even be doing delivery, even in this nonsense van that doesn't even have AC? So it's fine. They can take the job, but I'm trying my best. They say delivery. People order things and they want overnight shipping. Sometimes we have to deliver the thing on the same day. That's how I was eating lunch on my 15-minute lunch break. We don't even get the whole 30, 15. And I had to leave it. I ate 2 spoons of my rice. I didn't even drink water. I had to drop back in the van to go and start delivering package. And what are people buying? I don't even know. So I will drive on the curb again. That's how I meet my quota. I will tomorrow. I'm going to drive on the curb. So if they don't want me to drive, they should come and collect the key from me. Then that's how I know.
Well, brother, they came and collected the key. So this young man ended up getting fired from Amazon or whatever distributor he was working with Amazon. But I ain't mad at him. Look, he's trying to provide great customer service, whatever it takes, right? So he said, we're doing curbside service, so I'm going to drive on the curb. What's a better way to be able to effectuate good service than to take it to the extra mile? All right. You're not getting that from UPS or FedEx. They're not doing that, period. You know what I'm saying? And what I find to be crazy is that he's riding around in his van with no AC. It is way too hot for that right now. You know what I'm saying? What I find crazy is he only got to eat 2 spoonfuls of his rice because he had to get back to work. But I also find it believable. This isn't the first time I've heard about Amazon employees having conditions that are not the best for working. There was reports some years back saying that the people in the warehouse couldn't even take a full break to go to the bathroom. So people were using the bathroom in bottles and bags in their work areas. So that's very gross, but it has been reported in other places that is true. So I agree with you, Doc. That is hilarious. Old boy is super funny, and it only takes it to the next level because he had an accent. So you know what I'm saying? If anybody's looking to hire, we want to find out where this brother's at, man. 360 adjusters might have a place for him, man, because if he lost his job, there is definitely an opportunity for him to jump on. There's been quite a few storms here lately. I think the last one was Debbie or Deborah. I'm not sure exactly if it was formal or if it was a nickname, but there's opportunity for him to improve his situation, man. We got to find him, Doc. Tell me what you think. But
No, I'm not doing again.
We caught up with the driver on his last day of work. The driver says he's unbothered by the criticism and is looking forward to his future prospects.
Personally, I don't really care, to be honest, because I've already applied to UPS. So this job, this work, I don't want to do again. If I'm being honest, my heart is not in it again. So anything they want to do, that's fine. All the people that be driving, they won't mind their business. They wonder why there's so much accident on the road. It's because people not mind their business.
hey, man, why they interviewing him, man? They're not even gonna let him put his change of socks. They got him on here crazy, but luckily he does have other job prospects. Shout out to Veterans Growing America, helping veterans all across the country to start businesses, to find out about different benefits and things that are available for them. And my big brother Donnell, man, miss you, man. We was talking about you this morning, and hope everything's going well with you, man. So, you know what I'm saying? glad to know Dr. Brock got him covered. He said he's applying to FedEx and UPS already, but it's definitely a way better opportunity for him if he hollers at you. So let's keep this moving, man. It's a lot going on this week. We got some Young Thug stuff coming up. Before we get to that, though, got a kind of sad story that we've been talking about for a while. There's the autistic teenager from Florida who, well, before we do that, let's shout out Veterans Growing America one more time, man, because it's that dope. If you want to know more about it, please look it up. They're in the Maryland area, but they're coming to the whole US. They're on PBS. They've got all types of things happening. So I haven't even had an opportunity to get that update, but I know that they're doing big things and helping the veterans all across the US. So veteransgrowingamerica.com. I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure. So check them out. All right. So we've been talking about Brendan Deepa. He's an autistic teenager from Flagler County, Florida. And he pled no contest. So, I mean, he's not saying he's not trying to say he didn't do it, but he pled no contest to assaulting one of the teacher's aides at his high school when he was 17 years old. And the teacher suffered some very serious injuries. He was a big boy. He's like 6'6", 270. He was very, very large student. It was discovered that the school left him in the care of this teacher's aide by herself, which was not appropriate. So there's lawsuits about that are going on as well. But the teacher's aide, she took it very personally. She says her life is ruined, and she really went hard for the prosecutors to bring charges, like serious charges against Brandon Deepa. So it's a kind of like a Flagler County. I'm not exactly sure where it is, but I know it's kind of a conservative area. I just wanted to kind of show you. This is Brandon. We're gonna pull his picture up, but he had been awaiting sentencing for quite some time. The original sentencing was pushed back because the judge still needed to do more investigation and learn more things about what was happening, because it's serious. You know, he was facing some very serious time, and he's been in jail for some months already. So the judge decided to give this young man 5 years in a adult prison. So he's already 18 now. And he can't appeal the sentence, but he will be able to get treatment in prison. But nonetheless, he was sentenced to 5 years. It's tragedy for me to see this happen to him. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in prison that's going to help him to overcome this situation. So I'm curious to know what you think. Dr. Brock says that is bull crap, bro. And yeah, I share them sentiments. If he was of a different persuasion, I don't believe that he would have probably gotten that same sentence. But, you know, a young black man in a conservative area in the South, and this is what happened. So the judge also took into consideration that he has a past history of violence, but again, he has special needs, and he was not being properly taken care of at the time when this happened. I don't know, the judge, from what the judge said, it didn't really seem like the judge really took any type of leniency into consideration. His foster mother said, I think he needs help and I think he needs treatment, but I don't think he needs to be put away in a prison where he's going to be taken advantage of or harmed. So he can't appeal the sentence, but and he can't have contact, obviously, with the victim. But yeah, I agree with you, bro. It's bull crap, to say it mildly. All right. Got another one, man. These people, what are these people out here doing? So I just gotta show you the video, man. So we got this Karen who's really trying to sell to us that she's not at fault for this accident. But I want to know what you think, because I mean, I'm a personal injury lawyer. I do this for a living.
Leave me alone. I got all that. You hit my car. I didn't hit your car. You hit my car. No, I did not. Don't play with me. I'm telling you, don't play with me.
No, I didn't
do
hit
all that.
anything, yo.
You can do all that. You can do all that. You can do all that, baby. You can do all that. All that. You can do all that. Police already got you. 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 You can do all that.
Bruh, how you gonna sit up there on the video so you ain't hit nobody? Look at that. That's crazy. Donnell, bruh, be careful if you out there, man. You see a white Buick Rendezvous on the road with a tore up hood, get out the way, bruh. But yeah, man. So as you can see, this Karen hit this brother's car and she's trying to scam her way out of it. I guarantee if she would not have left, that she would have cried when the police got there and said that she didn't do it to try to get some sympathy. But one thing I can say is I've never seen anybody take their tag off and ride away when they didn't hit somebody's car. And maybe her car already had damage like that. Maybe that didn't happen, but that's what she's trying to sell to us. But tell me if you buy it. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, make sure you have two things when this happens. One, uninsured motorist coverage when you get hit by somebody who either doesn't have any insurance or doesn't have enough coverage in case you're injured. To that same point, you want to make sure you also have collision coverage. And also, you want to make sure that you have a dash cam so that if somebody hits you, you can capture the video when it happens. So he did the right thing. He made a video. He was able to get the tag number before she took the tag off. He did all the right stuff. I'm assuming he probably called the cops to get a police report. And let me know. Type yes in the chat if it would be helpful if I created a guide to inform you of like all of the different insurances that you should have to make sure you're protected and what you should do in the event that something like this were to happen to you. So let me know in the chat if that's something that you would want. But yeah, she ain't going nowhere too fast. She's very easy to spot with that type of damage, and I'm sure she got picked up. Typically, when you leave the scene of an accident in most states, that's a felony. So if you're ever in a situation that young lady was in, I also advise you to not leave. All right, even if you don't have insurance, the most you're going to get is a ticket, and you're going to be able to go on about your day. I was watching a show the other day. There was a guy. He actually killed a pedestrian, and he was 17 years old. He killed a pedestrian and he left the scene. So it was reported that he would not have even gotten a ticket had he just stayed, because apparently the pedestrian was not crossing the street in the right way and wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So because he left, though, he was charged with involuntary manslaughter, and he was sentenced to, was it 4 years or 5 years? He did end up getting some time for that. So please make sure that you stay and stick around. And since it's being requested, you got it. I'm going to create that, and we're going to put it in the next episode, how we can make sure that you get a copy of that. Make sure you got the right insurance coverages. And yeah, man. So I saw that and I was like, this is not really that crazy. But then, bro, she took her tag off. That was like one thing. But then the damages was like, bro, she didn't just like hit your car. She U-way your car. That's what we used to say back in the day. U-way. But it's not just Karens. Kens out here too, man. So you got to be careful with the Kens. So we're going to.
Road right here. Well, I'm not sorry.
Get in the house.
No, this ain't right.
I tell him to move that car.
I'm gonna call the police. Y'all don't do something.
Sir, it's an after pass of a
I don't care about all that crap.
You can't say that.
wow.
That's not crap. You gotta have
I don't like you.
So what Ken's saying right now is, after the lady, she's like, look, we at the repast of a funeral. And he's saying he don't care about that crap. So he's like, you can't call it crap, sir. My grandfather, whoever just passed away, and we out here, celebrating their life. You know how it is when you go to a repast, playing dominoes, drinking Hennessy, whatever it is they're doing, they out there, and he said it was a gang meeting. So Ken going crazy, Barbie trying to calm him down. But check this out.
Running my neighborhood.
We're not running your neighborhood. I don't know what's wrong.
I live right there. I live here for a good while.
James, well, don't bust me up. Go get
your car. She say she don't want your car in
No,
the
you
driveway.
blocking my path to
My
back
car
out.
is not blocking their
My wife will have to go
driveway.
around.
They can get out their driveway.
Hey, go get it.
Don't block my driveway.
James, you can talk to people better than that.
No, hey, I don't like it.
Don't do
Mr.
that.
James, if you wanted to bag back,
I'm sorry.
you could and get out, Mr.
I can
James.
call some records to get this shit moved.
James, stop. No, you can't. Come on.
Oh,
this is
that's
their
so
side
mean
of
of
the
you,
That
Mr.
is-
James.
no,
Today
no.
is Saturday.
Come here.
You know all that
Move,
other stuff
move,
is
move.
way back in
James,
the day.
stop.
We ain't going for that shit, James.
I ain't going to.
That's crazy.
James,
This is
We're
a
gonna order the
neighborhood.
house
It ain't
right
designed for the hood.
James, stop.
You gotta
Stop
stop
it.
saying stuff
Go
like
in
that,
the
Mr.
house.
James.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Mr. James
I'm
being very
sorry.
rude, and we
How you
asking.
doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
No, I don't like that. You're running my neighborhood.
James, stop.
I don't care what you're doing. I don't believe in this crap. You hear?
Oh wow.
We just
Stop
told
it.
you it's a repass.
Stop
Yeah, yeah, my face.
No, man.
No, you're going to start some trouble right there. There's trouble.
Oh.
There's trouble right
Dealing
there.
with a family death today, so
I
you
don't
see,
care about all that crap. Look at this is not right.
He just talking about game meeting and all that.
Yeah, this is looks like a game.
Well, it's a funeral. We all family. We just left a funeral.
No, you can't talk.
Oh wow.
Stop it. Stop
Oh, sorry, he could just, you feel me? Talk to the police.
Bruh. So first, I don't know why she's still calling Ken Mr. James. It's just James, man. You don't get no respect, no courtesies when you come approaching me like that. But my man looked like he 2 seconds away from his own repass. He needed to be a little bit more sympathetic in the situation. This very easily could have escalated if he would have tried to stand his ground. My thing too, I wouldn't have parked my car behind his driveway after that, because after seeing whose house that was, he really can't get out. He probably don't need to have no license, to be honest with you. But I would have definitely moved my whip like, nah, bro, I'm gonna back up just a bit because I don't want to have no problems with you and your bad driving self. You might hit my car on purpose. You sound like you mad because you wasn't on the roof with James Earl Ray and them back in 1968 when they killed Dr. King. Man, he sound like he from another time, bro. Crazy. So in the comments, Unc, please don't park right there. Oh, Mr. James gonna complain about his driveway. He was like, exactly. I feel the same way, man. I ain't about to let Mr. James stop me from doing what I want to do. James was having flashback to the early 1900s. Straight up. He clearly has dementia. They took the high road. Very proud on how this black family handled the situation. Anybody who sees this differently is just contributing to the racial divide in America. They did take the high road. I will say that. That is commonly what black families in America do. If my granddaddy would have been there, I would have told him, granddaddy, you got to squabble with him. Shoot that fade with him, granddaddy, please. But Mr. James is too close to his own repass. Exactly, bro. I agree with you, man. He mad because ain't nobody gonna be at his repass blocking nobody's driveway. Proud of how they handle that. Don't stoop to people's level. Show pity for them. Show that you're better than them in these moments. Mr. James was looking like a runaway psych ward patient. Watching this reminds me so much of our history, how we wasn't the wild ones. That old man losing his mind, you can tell that that's why she remained respectful. His wife saved him for real, for real. If he was alone, I could see his old ass getting packed out. Can't do that when people are already emotional after a loss. I don't know, man. When you see people like that, I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have started busting. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I mean, he obviously feels like he has some privileges and rights that we don't have. But sometimes I want to prove them right about us, man. Can't nothing good come from knocking out no old crazy man. So I do kind of, agree that they did the right thing, but hate to see it, man. This is America. And Keefe D. We haven't talked about Keefe D in a while. Y'all remember Keefe D? That is the South Side Crip. Hey, before we get to that, my granddaddy would have whooped that tail, bro. I just want to put it out there that he's still alive. He's like 93, going on 94, and he hit hard. He still hit hard. I think he would. I don't think Mr. James would have been ready for that pressure. I'm not gonna hold you, but speaking of boxing gloves, that's where Pac got killed in Vegas after a Mike Tyson fight. So Keefe D is the last of the believed assailants who's still alive. So Orlando Anderson and two other guys who Orlando Anderson is Keefe D's nephew, and there are two other guys who are alleged to be in the vehicle. Keefe D has written books and made videos where he says that he was in the car that killed Tupac. He kind of alluded to the fact that somebody else may have been the actual shooter, but now he's been charged with the murder. They found some evidence at his home when they did a raid, and they believe they have enough to convict him of this. That was 96, 28-year-old murder. That happened 28 years ago, almost next month. So yeah, so he's facing trial, and there's new evidence apparently showing that his wife bought a room, I believe, at the Monte Carlo, and that Orlando Anderson had rooms at the Excalibur. So they're now looking for video and other things that can tie Keefe D to being actually in Las Vegas. Because, I mean, you have to imagine that looking for evidence 28 years after a crime is very hard, but some of these things do still exist. And the investigation wasn't really handled properly, and they didn't get evidence that they probably could have gotten if they had done a more thorough investigation back at that time. But yeah, it looks like I think he's gonna get some time, but I'm not sure about Young Thug, because Young Thug case is crazy. So we talked last week about the new judge. Remember, they removed Judge Glanville, then they put in a judge named Shakira Ingram, who stepped down after a day, and now they have another new judge, and all of this goes back to the prosecutors having ex parte conversations with a witness and the judge, which basically means none of the defense was aware or knew about these proceedings that were taking place. The witness was Little Wody, who was on the stand for quite some time. He didn't want to testify, but then they ended up holding him in contempt, so they put him in jail. They said they were going to keep him in there, so he ended up testifying seemingly against his will. And there's been all types of motions to have a mistrial, motions to have a fair trial, motions to have some of the prosecutors removed. And the judge has kind of finally ruled on all of this stuff. So there's no court going on. They're going to be back in court with actual live witnesses next week. So this trial, which has been going on for like 20 months, it's going on 2 years. Thug's been in jail the whole time, even like 6 months probably before that. And the judge ruled that there's not going to be a mistrial. All right. It's kind of weird what she actually ruled, but today she came out and she said that first, before she even got to this, I'll show you the video that where she asked questions of Little Wody to find out about his previous testimony about if he's going to comply with their if they ask him to come back to the stand.
When they're like, all right, we're calling Kenneth Copeland, are you going to say, okay, ask me what you want to ask me, I'll tell you whatever I'm going to tell you? Or are you going to say, nope, I don't care if you throw me in jail, I'm not saying a word, I am not getting on the stand?
It depends on how I wake up.
Okay.
Yeah, so Lil Wody is not holding no punches. He like, it depends how I feel. Will determine what I do. If you go back and look it up, his testimony was hilarious. We covered some of it a couple of months back, but the judge ruled that the prosecutors probably committed a Brady violation. So there's a case, US v. Brady, and it states that if the prosecution finds out about evidence that would be favorable to the defendant, they can't hide it. They have to share with the defense, because that's the only fair way that they can, have a defense against the charges. Because prosecutors' job should not be to convict anyone. They should be looking to convict people who are actually guilty. So in this case, in one of these meetings, little Wody said, let me find the quote. So at the meeting, he said, quote, "I have never been truthful a day in my life." And they didn't know that until they didn't even find out that he said that until after Judge Glanville was removed. So, they've got all these motions going back and forth, and the judge says that Judge Whitaker is her name. She says that Copeland, who's little Wody's statement, would have been helpful to the defense. All right. She said, quote, "Copeland may have little credibility. He may speak in hyperbole. But the fact remains that for a defense attorney, this nugget by a key state's witness is gold." Absolutely. Because what you have to show, the burden is so high for criminal prosecution. You have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that the defendant is guilty of the crime. So if one of the key witnesses admits to being a liar, that would certainly weigh with the jury on how they're gonna how much credibility and how much weight they're going to give to his testimony. So the fact that he's admittedly is a liar is huge. All right. She said prosecutors not only failed to alert defense attorneys of Copeland's statement, but also asserted in court filings that they weren't entitled to know the contents of the secret meeting, which obviously she doesn't agree with that. But let's keep going and kind of get to her ruling. She said that the lapse was likely inadvertent on the part of the state, and they said that she does not attribute bad faith to anyone on this issue. So she's saying that what they did was wrong, but a mistake. I'm curious to know if you think it was a mistake, or if you think that it's some home cooking or some unfair treatment that's being given to the defense here. So she said, ultimately, the defense learned of the statement in time to use it at trial. So the failure to produce or suppression of this information does not technically amount to a Brady violation. Technically. So she denied the motion for a mistrial and says, well, defense, now you're going to have this statement. You're going to be able to tell the jury after the fact that Copeland is a liar. But it would have been way better if they would have been able to say that while he was on the stand. So that's why she's asking, will you come back to the stand and tell the truth? Depends on how I'm feeling. So all she did was tell them that they have to attend some type of video class about prosecutorial misconduct. It's crazy. But one of the defense attorneys who's representing one of the other defendants said he's disappointed with the ruling, but the damage has been done by Judge Glanville, and the state has infected the entire body of this trial. An emergency amputation of the judge can't save it. So they're required to submit to training on Brady and other professional obligations of a prosecutor. Yeah, I agree, man. It seemed like something's funny, but it doesn't matter, because I agree with you here as well. Based off of what the defense is going to be able to say, based off of what I've even seen evidence-wise, it doesn't seem like the prosecution so far is proving their case. Remember, though, they don't have to prove that he did it. They're trying to show that he was the leader of a gang and that these crimes were committed. As the leader of the gang under the RICO statute, you don't have to actually be the one to commit the crime, but you have to be obviously you're the leader. So these crimes are being facilitated at your request, and but first you got to even show that the crimes were committed. So right now, it's a little unclear to me if I think that the prosecution has done enough. So far, I'm going to say no. So, and now we have to Florida. So I'm just going to put it out there, let y'all see what's happening.
Bridge, Main Street.
Copy.
Hello, sir. How are you? Mind if we holler at you for a few minutes? Where are you coming from?
Coming up from runaway.
Okay. Can you have a seat for me?
Have a seat. Am I being detained?
Have a seat. Yes, you're being detained. Have a seat. Yep, he's in the water. This is going to be him on the bridge. All right, we're going to coast in. You can go ahead and drop that ladder.
Come here. Hey. Come here. You got anything on you? Got a knife or anything? Yeah, I got one. Come here, mommy.
On the floor. Help him with cuffs.
That's what I got.
Taking 1, 10, 12.
In my right pocket, too.
Man, what the Florida are you doing, bro? First, why would you jump into the ocean? That's first of all. Where are you going? All right. Luckily, they had a boat close by. Were able to save your life because you was about to get, you about to drown out there, get eaten by a shark. Who knows what's going to happen to you because you were not going to be able to float out there. You weren't going to be able to swim far enough away to be able to get away. What was the plan? Why did you do that, my guy? Second, when they did come and save your life / arrest you, why do you still have a knife on you? That's supposed to be in the water, bro. You didn't think that out. You asked the right question. Am I being detained? You want to know if you're being detained. If you're being detained, then they can search your pockets 100%. But you got to make sure that if you're being detained, if you're going to try to elude the detainment, that you at least get rid of whatever it is that they would have found in the search. Come on, man. This happened down in Daytona Beach. We've seen other similar things on Daytona Beach. A guy was driving down the beach he drove into the water trying to get away. I don't know what's happening in Daytona. Shout out to Bethune-Cookman University, one of the finest universities in the nation. And yeah, man, he was taking a dip. One thing I definitely don't want to go to jail, Doc, but I definitely don't want to go to jail soaking wet. So uncomfortable. So many things here that I wouldn't do. What the Florida, man. But if you end up in a situation like that, make sure you get a dope black lawyer. I can always connect you with somebody. We got a nationwide network. We're handling cases all across the country, and we're getting results for people in all types of cases, whether it's car accidents, whether it's criminal defense, whether you need immigration papers. All right. Don't be out here doing the 90-day fiance. We can get you right in other ways. All types of cases. If you do end up needing a divorce, if it doesn't work out, we can help you with that. If you want to try to plan on the front side, get that prenup, we got you. Whatever you need. All right. Somebody called me the other day about a breach of contract. We got lawyers everywhere. And if we don't have the lawyers, we can find lawyers in your area. So if you're from some little small town and we don't have lawyers in that little area, we can pinpoint and help you find lawyers. So definitely reach out to us. You can find me on pretty much every social media platform as the Dope Black Lawyer and as Dope Black Lawyer. That stuff should have been gone, bro. But if it wasn't, you end up needing the Dope Black Lawyer, man. That's cool. It happens. It happens to the best of them. Never happened to me yet. Praying that it never does. But you never know. So just holler at us. And if there's anything that you want us to talk about that we have not talked about, also let us know, and we'll highlight that on a future episode. If you have an actual legal matter, don't post it publicly, but hit me on the side and we can talk about it. All right. So I will holler at y'all next time, man. Appreciate you tuning in, whether it was for 1 second or whether you watched the whole show. Much love, and see you on the next one. Peace.